Welcome back everyone to another review. So, we're taking a look at the RPGs with the likes of Mystic Lust. A game that's, I gotta say, I think it's either going to be made in the Godot or the Game Maker engine. I'm leaning more towards Godot because the game has Linux compatibility, which I must admit to the dev is a very progressive thing to do. Not many games often have Linux compatibility by default. But enough talk, let's just dive right on in. So, to make a plot summary very short, humans and magical creatures live together in harmony, in more ways than one I can imagine.
Oh my.
But then corrupting magic separated them by 10 great wizards. However, they got separated as well, and they basically were in the corrupting magic realm in an attempt to get rid of said corrupting magic. Essentially, all the normal human beings losing their memory, and, well, the magic ones losing partially of their memory. And unsurprisingly, the non-magic humans started hunting down the magical beings, accusing them of witchcraft. Are you sure they weren't just tripping on ergot-infected bread?
Then all of a sudden, holy shit, I'm blasting out of both ends! My heart's a seizin', my lungs a wheezin', the fucking walls are melting!
Years later, a consensus was made to bring the magical kids to the non-magical human world, where they will learn all their customs and all that shit. Think of it as like kind of like the planet Viltrum of like repopulating. And when they became of age, they get into magic school. I feel like I've been here before. Anyways, the protagonist of this game, who I just call Jacob, that's his default name by the way, is one of those people. And of course, you would have a rare ability, lust magic. But there's very little talk right now. You are late for magic school. You get yourself accommodated, and then you meet yourself one of the great wizards or goddesses named Ephraia, who is still in the corrupted realm. Now, it's your job to master your magic type, fight off corruption magic and whatever its forces may be, and of course, while you're at it, get your dick wet. Now, this is just a basic crash course of the game, and yeah, the game itself is pretty simple. I'm pretty sure there's also going to be a lot of in-game lore being later on through the updates, so you can just play it through that, or use the library. That's something that I'm surprised that the dev has not implemented. The school itself has a library, so it would make sense to have some form of a history lesson with it. But I'm pretty sure he probably has that in his roadmap in some way, shape, or form. The presentation is okay. The music is kind of non-existent outside of a few battle musics and a few things here and there. The character sprites look good, and additionally, I love how the character reaction sprites are well drawn. Reminds me of like a certain game that I can't seem to put my fucking finger on right now. The in-game sprites have a little bit to be desired, but it gets the job done. But you're wondering about the gameplay. Well, don't you worry. I remember it perfectly now. So, the game plays exactly like the Lewd Knight, or if you're familiar with my channel in any way, shape, or form, Alchemy Quest. Essentially having card games as your battle system, and it's basically just one big card game where you are trying to deal the most damage to enemies. And of course, like any self-respecting modern indie RPG, it has a craft system that you can obtain from the shop. Of course, you having love magic, you're also seducing some of the characters. And as expected, after you kill an enemy, you get to fuck them as a sign of dominance. God damn. Overall, this game is a pretty decent experience. This game does have some potential. Like I said, needs to add some music. Hell, I'm pretty sure the composer will appreciate the food money. There are also, I need a little bit more reaction sprites as well. While you're at it, after we get done with school and the likes, like when it gets to afternoon, I like to explore the town without having to circle around the damn map. But until then everyone, good night and good luck. Oh, for those who don't know, by the time I'm recording this, it's, well, fairly past my birthday, so I decided to do a bit of a birthday Q&A. So, we're going to do just that. Arsenic Manson said, what's your favorite game? I don't particularly have a favorite game. However, there was one game that I actively kind of do come back to, which is an MMO called Mabinogi. Rather just be weekly or I'm just kind of by myself. However, Nikkei has kind of been taking away that has been that fill, because unfortunately I switched to Linux not that long ago, nearly a year ago actually, so it doesn't have any way, shape, or form to have a Mabinogi. Beast Wolf asks a bunch of questions. I'm only gonna ask like a few of them. So, what is the natural state of the human soul? Order or chaos? Honestly, I believe it has a little bit of both. Because I'd say mainly a 70-30 split. The human soul does require order. Why do you think tribalism exists for a reason? However, there are some bits that have, that does require some chaos to stay sane. Do I believe in investing for retirement? Yes. How many Shakespeare plays have I read and seen? Only, I'm going to say 2 and possibly a quart and a half, unless you count stuff like Romeo and Juliet, which is a direct parody of Romeo and Juliet as well. The only thing I actually have seen was Julius Caesar. And have I heard about Total Biscuit? Yes, I have. May he rest in peace. If you're wondering how I know about Total Biscuit, it was mainly through the likes of YouTube's broken ass copyright system. Like I said, I have been here around the whole YouTube broken ass copyright system for fucking years. But I think that's it for the birthday Q&A. Not many people ask me. But if you like to ask me any questions, be sure to leave a comment. Hell, maybe even leave something on my Twitter, my YouTube, or maybe my community post if I ever do post there again. But until then, everyone, good night and good luck.
If you enjoyed this video, please like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. If you wish to see Overlord's whereabouts and artwork, be sure to go to his X/Twitter, Pixiv, Blue Sky, or even DeviantArt. If you wish to support the funding for this channel for bigger projects, be sure to commission him through Ko-fi or buy some merch at City Wave Plaza.